Okay, guys, how you doing? This is your boy Bitcoin Rodney coming to you guys straight from LA. I'm out here right now doing some big business deals, getting ready to fly out to Vietnam. And while I was out here, I met an extraordinary guy by the name of David Mota. Man, am I pronouncing your name right?
Yeah, Mota, doesn't matter. It's all
Okay,
good.
great. So I was in a meeting with some other big bosses, and they said, "Oh, the guy who runs Tryp is also in his office." I said, "Really?" So I said, "Yeah, I would love to meet this guy, and ask him more questions because I'm hearing so much about this deal, and I want to know more about it straight from the horse's mouth, as I always do." And we sat down over a glass of wine, and we talked for about an hour and a half over the real deal that most people may not understand or understand yet. And I said, "You guys got to hear this." So here we are today. He said, "Rodney, I'm driving on the highway." I said, "Well, can we do a quick Zoom in about 4 hours? I know you're going to be tired, but are you willing to do it?" He says, "Man, I'm willing to do whatever it takes to get the information out there to you guys." And here we are today. Guys, please meet David Mota, the CMO of Tryp. David, explain to them what Tryp is and what's so exciting about it.
Yeah, definitely. First of all, I appreciate you, Ronnie, and every single one of you who is here from, I believe, everybody from the East Coast. So, thanks for jumping on board here. What is it? It's almost 3 a.m., right? 2:30 your time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just arrived in Vegas. I mean, I still got my clothes on. I mean, it's freezing in the room, so I made some tea real quick. But I want to make sure.
I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate that. But I think that everybody in the morning, when they get up and see what we talked about and what you had to bring to the table, they'll be very excited that we stayed up to the wee hours of the night to get them this information.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And promise I got here as fast as I could.
Hey,
But
man,
anyway,
great job.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, man, I mean, Tryp has been an amazing project. I'm actually one of the founders of the company as well. We've been working behind the scenes for about a year now, and really looking at everything that's going on in the industry, and to find a way to really disrupt the disruptors, right? I believe that, that's how technology works. That's how the world evolves. There's always somebody that comes in and change the world, but there's always a way for you to make things better, right? We're not by any means saying that we're going to bankrupt Uber or Lyft, but I believe that things can be done a little different. And there's definitely space for a third company, right? And excuse me one second. I'll be sipping on some tea because, my throat's kind of weird.
No problem with that. Hey, guys, by the way, if you want to ask questions, you can ask some questions inside the chat, and then I'll relay the questions to David and give you guys time to also speak as well. Go ahead, David.
Yeah. So when we started looking at the industry, the rideshare industry, we found several things that we thought that we could improve on. First of all, talking to a lot of drivers. I mean, my partner and I'm actually here to see him. We'll have some big meetings tomorrow morning. We're here out in late Las Vegas. But anyway, we probably, each one of us did over 100 rides to different, Uber and Lyft, and really trying to understand what was going on in the market, understand the pain points, what the drivers liked about it, what they didn't like about it. And that's why actually sometimes I hear a lot of people saying, "Hey, man, Tryp sounds too good to be true because it's everything we ever wanted. And, it's impossible you guys are going to do it." I'm like, that's the reason why, it's not too good to be true, but we did it by hearing what drivers wanted, right? And hearing what consumers wanted. So that's why Tryp is here. So rest assured that we got some amazing things going on here. I don't know how many of you actually have heard of what we're doing, but I'll kind of give some high-level overview. The main difference between us and the competitors out there, I'll start with the rider, right? So if you are, using the service today, either, one of the competitors out there, Uber, Lyft, or one of the little guys, first of all, there's no loyalty program, right? They will give you $5 to $20 depending if you refer somebody, but that's one time, right? And they never get paid anything else. When you personally ride, there's barely any incentive. But, a lot of people really are just using those services for the convenience anyway, so we understand it. But we figured that, hey, there's a way here to make people not only enjoy the service, right, but also get rewarded by using it again. So with our app that's coming out, a user, every time they personally use it, first of all, it's going to be the first surge-free app, right? I'm sure all of you have always looked at the bill, late in the evening, like, why is this 5 times more than what it used to be, right, on the regular time So we will not have search. So that's a definitely competitive advantage for our app. But anyway, when you use the service, you get paid reward points. But the exciting thing here is that when you share the app with somebody, every time that user, your friend, uses the app, you get paid 40 cents reward. So it's actually made it so that when you use it, it's 25 points, that's about 10 cents. And when your referral uses it, you get 100 points, which is 40 cents every single time, right? So again, not only the users are benefiting from lower fares, but they get rewarded by using it as well. So it's a recipe to make it go viral. Now for the drivers, it's very exciting because early on, right, drivers got paid all the money because the market was being created, right? Uber Lyft needed to get all these drivers on board. So it was just like giving all kinds of bonuses, paying huge commissions and things like that. And now that they dominate, right, and they're finding every single way possible to take the money out of the driver's hands. So we figured, hey, why not let the driver make 100% of the fares, right? They are the ones doing the work. They're using their cars, right? They're the ones working late hours, having to, take care of the vehicle. Everything's on the driver's hands. So why should they be penalized, right? I have seen a lot of drivers that sometimes they think they're getting about 25% that they pay to Uber, but I've seen rides where up to 85%, was being taken by Uber. It's just insane. Most drivers just need to pay attention to the bills and they'll see what I'm talking about, which they have. So what's so exciting about us is that the driver actually makes 100% of the fares, meaning they keep all the money. Because the waiting time, they make all the money. Any tip goes straight to the driver. I mean, you name it. We do not touch the money. In fact, the driver, once they sign up with us, they get their own merchant account. So it's a true self-employed, right? Tryp, we don't even touch their money. So that's definitely revolutionary. And the beauty is, right, a lot of people say, hey, don't you think that other companies can copy it? Well, there's only two players, right, Uber and Lyft. And they are on the way to get their IPO done. I mean, they're years ahead, right, on their business model. There's no way they can just pivot and change to what we're doing. So that gives a very competitive advantage to the marketplace. But also the cool thing for the drivers, they pay us small, and how they get to make 100% of the money is because they pay us a membership fee. So we are a SaaS company, software as a service. So more than the rideshare company, we're providing these business owners, right, with the software, the technology to run their rideshare business, right? So through our app, people will be able to schedule rides directly with the driver. It will have a preferred drivers. Let's say you ride with someone. Let's say, Ron is an Uber driver, right? I like him, or a Tryp driver. I'll be able to give a little heart to him, and he'll fall under my preferred drivers. So whenever I had to go somewhere else, I can just hit him up and say, hey, Ron, you want to take me? So the drivers can actually build a book of business, right? And it's super exciting what we're doing here. And the drivers are just they're blown away. They're excited out of their minds because of that. And but here's a cool thing too. For the drivers, if they refer 3 drivers, their membership is free. So not only they can get to make 100% of the money, sometimes more than 100%, right, with tip and things like that, but also there's a way for them to have a free membership with us and never pay a dime. So those are the 2 types of users that I talked about. The user, which is the end user, right, taking the rides, lots of benefit from them. And also the driver, which is our customer, amazing benefits for them. And then we have a 3rd type of people who are the influencers, right? The influencers are people maybe like yourselves who are in the call here right now that, have the, entrepreneur visionary mindset that, when you see something, you want to go after it and help promote it. And we have an amazing program for that too. For the influencers, all you have to do is pay $150 a year, and you get a whole suite of marketing material, autoresponders, sales funnels, you name it, capture pages, webinars, the whole nine yards for $150 a year, okay? And you have an amazing compensation plan that is just, exciting to the next level, which you can make money by referring drivers, right? You can make money by referring users, right? You make 40 cents every time they use it. But as you accumulate drivers in your network, we pay what we call weekly advancement ranks. And you can get paid from $50 a week to $1,000 a week. Actually, we don't even have $1,000 a week. So our ranks are $200 a month. I'll talk about monthly, okay? So $200 a month when you have 3 drivers on your team. When you have 10 drivers in your team, you get bumped up to $600 a month. When you have 24 drivers, you get to $1,000 a month. When you have 60 drivers in your team, this could be you or also your team, right? Referring other drivers, all of them count for you, a combination of everybody's efforts. When you have 60 drivers, we'll pay you $2,000 a month. When you have 180 drivers, which is nothing, you get paid $5,000 a month. 400 drivers, it's $10,000 a month. Then the next level is 1,000 drivers, we pay you $25,000 a month. Then the next level up is 2,000 drivers, we pay you $50,000 a month. The next level up is 4,000 drivers, again, combination of everybody's efforts. It's $100,000 a month with 4,000 drivers. Next level up, we have two more levels. It's 12,000 drivers, pays you $250,000 a month, $250,000 a month. And the cap is at 24,000 drivers in your whole group, right? It doesn't have to be just your effort. Everybody's effort counts. You get paid $500,000 a month. But in fact, we pay weekly. So if you were paying just monthly, right, $500,000 a month would be $6 million a year. But because we pay weekly, it's 52 weeks in a year. Do the math, it's $6.5 million a year. So it's an extra $500,000 a year just because we pay weekly on that. And then we have some, some advancement bonuses too, cars, trips, one of our trips it's a first-class trip around the world. It's just like some amazing things that we do here. And it's just exciting, man. We're very, very excited about everything that we're doing. We're here in Vegas right now. We're finalizing a building that is just huge, going to be our headquarters here in Las Vegas. I mean, I don't think there's any company with a building as big as we're getting out there, especially in this space. Maybe, Facebook and those companies do, but I'm telling you, it's huge. And
hey, David, I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, that's fine. I'm pretty much done too.
Yeah. Okay. I did some homework, and a lot of times before I join companies or do anything really huge or big, I do a little research to find, the ins, the outs, the negatives, the positives, the questions that people have out there. So is it okay if I play devil's advocate and ask a few hard questions?
By all means.
They have out there that, they're like skeptical because they hear it's a scam and this, that, and the other. So I gathered a few questions in my head I want to ask you so you can clarify it to the public, because this video will be seen by a lot of people who want to know the answers to these questions. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, please, by all means, my friend, shoot them over.
Number one of the questions that I heard is they're like, well, if it's so true and it's not a scam, how come they don't have a license yet to do what they're doing in their state or dealing with the transportation companies or licensings? You're supposed to be licensed in order to do what you're doing. Is there an actual license you got to have in order to do what you're doing through the transportation authorities?
100%. And we do have a license. We have a license already in Arizona. But at this time, right, we are, just to explain to you, especially how tech companies are launched, right? You don't just launch everything one day, right? You go through the phases. Right now, we're going through the soft launch period, right? Soft launch, we're working out the systems. There's some kinks and things like that we're working out because, it's important, right? We want to make sure that once we lit the fire up, the systems can handle it, right? So it's very important to make sure that everything's in place. So during the soft launch, what are we doing? We're registering. Obviously, everybody can come in for free, right? But there are people, they can go ahead and pre-register, do an early bird fee, right? We don't charge a lot of money. They could do that as well to lock their spots. They don't have to, right? But while this is going on one side, we have our other departments in the company that we have identified 43 states that we want to be in this year. There's 90 cities within those states and surrounding markets. So it's really about 150 cities. And we're actively right now applying for all of those states. It's not a matter of being approved or not. Okay, this is just like you want to launch a corporation. You have to go through a process, right? You have to file an application, pay some fees. There's a series of steps you have to take. We have actively right now, like I said, been working towards 43 states. And Arizona is already in the books. We're fully licensed in Arizona. We have Utah coming on board very soon. I would say that in the next 4 to 6 weeks, we should have another 2-3 states. Ohio, it's coming really close. New Mexico, Utah, Hawaii. So it's just a matter of time, right? We strongly believe that by the end of the year, we'll have all these 43 states done, hopefully before. Our goal is really to, by June, July. and we'll have license in all those states. So it's not, again, it doesn't matter at this point because we're not taking rides. Make sense? Our strategy goes like this. Like for example, Arizona, right? Arizona, we got licensed now. So our next step is this. We're telling all of our members, hey guys, focus on Arizona right now, right? Let's put about 4,000 to 6,000 drivers in Arizona that will launch rides in Arizona. Make sense? This is a way to growth hack, right? And do what took companies like Uber and Lyft 3, 4, 5 years to achieve. We can probably do this in less than a year because we have the power of the people, right? There's people with a vested interest going out there and talking about us, explaining to people how it works, right? Educating the people out there. So it's really just a strategy to achieve just think about this, right? If we do, let's say by the end of the year, we have this 43 states open, meaning the licenses are there, we have enough drivers, and we're taking rides. We're operating those states. We're gonna need about 500,000 drivers, right? To fill out all those 43 states. Guess what? Uber and Lyft, I mean, between the two of them, there's about 2 million people. So about 1 million people each company. If we get to 500,000 people in the first year, we will have half of the size of those companies, right? In less than a year. So it's only possible with this business model, the way we're doing it, right? Because there's not enough money to go out there and just try to be what Uber is doing, right? They're fully funded. They've got billions of dollars in revenue. They're established, right? So we have to do things different. That's why we're taking this approach. But 100%, it's it's just a matter of time before we're everywhere.
Okay. Makes a lot of sense. I just wanted to get these questions out there because I've even on some of my posts on Facebook, people said, "Man, Rodney, I joined 3 weeks ago, but I have some questions that have been unanswered. They have no one has emailed me. Rodney, can you give me the answers to these questions?" So I said, "Hey, I'll do the best I can," and here we are today. Another question is, I read that said, well, Tryp doesn't have a real product yet because they don't have an actual app. There's no real app to be used as of yet that people see on their phones, and they can really show that these guys are really in business and going to be doing well in their future because they're taking money up front now and they don't have an actual product people can use. I understand pre-registration, but right. I read the comments and stuff and the questions. I feel, well, maybe I can get this guy to explain the reason why that is so the whole world could know.
Right.
So what do you think about that?
100%. And by the way, we do have an app, you know what I mean? You're just not out. I don't know if you can see it. See a Tryp right there?
Yeah, I see it.
We have an app, right? We just haven't launched the app yet. And the reason we haven't launched the app yet, we are not taking rides yet. You know what I'm saying? The app, out of the whole thing we're doing, is the easiest part, right? Nowadays, technology is so advanced, right? Google provides a huge, a base, a whole because they have the maps, right? And the technology, we're not 10 years ago when Uber started that they were trying to create this thing. So the app, we've had the app, the bones for the app for months, right? But it's not the most important part. You follow me? We have to have the system correctly. We have to have the system properly so that when people are taking rides, the referral is making their 40 cents on every ride. You follow me? There's a lot of little things here that we're doing different to the marketplace that has to be perfected. That's why we do soft launch testings out, right? Once we launch the app, I'll tell you what I'm doing right now, because we got this time before we have enough drivers in Arizona and Utah so we can start taking rides. I'm taking this time right now. I'm actually in charge of, again, my title is CMO, but I'm involved in every single part of the company. Like I said, I'm one of the founders. It's Bob McNulty, myself. And so I'm in charge of a lot of the design work, and I oversee all of that. So right now, what I'm doing is I'm redoing the whole user experience of the app. And that should be done in the next 3 weeks or so. So by that time, right, we should have hopefully enough drivers in Arizona, which again, we have the license there already. So we'll start rolling out the app to the Apple Store and Google Store. So it's just one of the matter of times.
Okay.
People will see it before they know it.
What is the actual, I'm reading here, it says, most importantly, the California Public Utilities Commission has not issued a TNC permit to Tryp nor include any trade dress for identifying a Tryp vehicle. What is that about?
Not yet. Like I said, we're in the process with 43 states right now. Well, minus one, Arizona is already in the books. So but we're not taking rides there either. So we're not doing anything illegal. Make sense?
Gotcha.
It will be a problem if we have the app out with people using it in California without a license. Now we're in trouble. You know what I'm saying? So one of the reasons why we haven't released the app, right? We're working on the states. Again, it's not a matter of being approved or not. It's just California, for example, give you an example. California is so hard, right? It's a state that does everything they possibly can to take money from you, right? It's just the way it is, right? They want their money. And so in California, we have to apply to the state. Then we have to apply to each county. Then we have to apply to each city within the county. It's just a logistic, overwhelming process, right? But we have a whole team staff. They're based in San Diego. I was just there. You can see on my Instagram some videos. And we have a whole office in San Diego. That's all they do. They're compliance. We call them the compliance team. And all they do all day long is talk to the states, the cities, and pushing through the applications for us. So this is our internal staff.
Okay, got it. So give me an idea of your legal counsel. Do you have a large legal counsel in place to make sure that everybody is protected? Insurances to make sure the people who you hire for drivers are don't have bad backgrounds, or so you guys aren't sued or anything like that. How are you prepared for that part?
Great question. We actually have 3 different legal counsels. Okay, we have a contractual law firm out of Los Angeles, one of the biggest law firm out there. You can go to our triprides.com website. In the footer, it has their information there. They're huge, but they're here to deal with business stuff, right? Contractual stuff, big business stuff. We have 2 attorneys in-house in our legal counsel, okay? 2, not 1, 2. And we have, for the affiliate side, we have an attorney, very famous attorney called Calvin Thompson, and one of the best attorneys out there for affiliate network, and he's our legal counsel on that side. So we have 3 teams. And as far as insurance goes, we are right now finalizing, there's 3 companies out there kind of bidding so that we can use them, right? That's the beauty about what we're doing. People understand, you know what I mean? Like businesses understand how so much that, for example, I'm sure you're familiar with a company called Jiffy Lube, right? Yeah. Jiffy Lube is our partner on the vehicle inspections, right? They have 2,000 locations across the United States, and they will be doing our vehicle inspection for us. Right now, we're finalizing, like I said, with there's 2-3 companies right now giving us quote for the insurance. Again, the reason we haven't launched that yet, because we're not taking rides yet, right? Rest assured, by the minute we start opening that states, insurances, our umbrella insurance will be in place. But the drivers, just like Uber and Lyft, they also have to have their insurance, right? It's a combination of both. Will work the same way for us. And also, there was one thing else you asked, background checks. In fact, our background check, okay, so we're making sure that the people that are driving with Tryp are true, real people, right? They're not, somebody, running away from the cops or anything like that. We actually go above and beyond what's being doing right there outside right now. We go 7 years back on the county level as well, which means, let's say somebody, commits a crime in Las Vegas where I'm at right now, and then they move to East Coast, right? Usually you won't get it if you're not doing a background by the county. And because not every county, this is the information was provided by me, by the company, right? They don't really communicate. So we go as deep as possibly can, 7 years, to make sure there's no problem with that driver. And we're also going to be doing fingerprints with that driver as well to ensure that there's the highest, that we're doing everything we possibly can to make sure there's a real legitimate person that's not out to do anything bad to anybody else sitting in front, driving that car with Tryp. So
that makes a lot of sense, the fingerprint thing. Because I remember one time I had to sit in on my son's school one day, and they asked me to do a fingerprint to make sure I wasn't going to be, blown the school up or whatever, make sure I wasn't a bomber or anything. So that makes sense. From what I've heard is that Uber or Lyft got sued for several millions of dollars because they were hiring felons and a lot of bad things were happening, and they got sued for not doing the proper, background check in the beginning. So having the legal counsel that you have, I think, is very, very important. So let me ask you another question. what makes you think right now? And I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I'm not against anything. Okay,
no worries.
Is what makes you think you're going to be able to get a piece of that pie, and that people who start to sign up for Tryp will earn money? Because right now the habit of a person is very hard to break. Number one, and being able to get somebody, instead of click the word Uber or Lyft on their phone, and click the word Tryp. So, and that means that in order for us to be successful by promoting this product, we have to be able to dominate and get a lot of other people to join this new app called Tryp in order for us to even earn money. So what do you have in place that can reassure? I know there's no guarantees, of course,
right,
but we can able to, because you're not in any states yet as far as the taking rides yet. And you're only in Arizona as one state. So, and you're taking in income as of right now. But I do know, I think you said that no one has to pay monthly on anything until
exactly. Until the state they're in is open. Yeah, they can just want free right now if they want, right? Because everybody can come in for free and stay for free. If they want to just set it up, make sure they're ready to, be all ready for the time the state opens up, then they can't pay, the fee, which is not a lot. It's $250, which is a write-off as well in taxes. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
But we don't charge them anything else until we open that state. But yeah, great question though. And so one of the reasons why we're doing like that, so it's not like we're going to have license in the states and we're just going to open up, right? Everything's doing planned, right? It has to be a strategy behind it. So even let's say we got Ohio tomorrow, right? We're not going to just, let's say we have the app right now already, everybody knows about us, and Ohio comes on board. We're not just going to open up Ohio just because we have the license there. The goal is we need to have, again, around 4,000 people, right? 4 to 6,000 people on that market. So there's enough drivers to support the market, right? Once we have that amount of drivers there, the company along you guys that's out there, right, promoting to riders and drivers will come as well, do a lot of marketing, paid marketing by us, right, to ensure that people are, seeing us all over the internet, TV, radio, whatever it takes. You follow me? So we'll do a lot of campaigns ourselves, which is very different than most companies out there. They have an affiliate program. That's their budget. Their budget goes to pay, right, the referrals. We have that budget plus other budget for traditional marketing to make sure that there's a lot of cool things going on in the market. People are, not just hearing about Tryp, but they're getting excited about Tryp and doing everything we can to make sure that, hey, they're at least trying us out and hopefully have a better service. There's something to it as well that I want to tell you that I don't think I mentioned. The drivers, right? A driver who's also an influencer, they actually are able to earn stock options, right? And earn points and have a piece of the pie, for everything they virtually do. So that's very important. Why do I say that? Because think about it, right? A driver, if you're a driver and you're driving for a company right now, you're still doing it, but you're probably not very happy because your paycheck is going lower, lower, and lower, right? Now there's a company that's paying you all the money and giving you ownership, right, for helping. You're going to be a happy driver. Make sense? So our goal is to make sure that the drivers are out there happy, taken care of, so that when the user is in their car, right, they have a good experience, right? They're not there with a grumpy person or anything like that. So it's a combination of all these little things that we're doing that will create a success for Tryp. So and that's, again, going back to the market by market situation, that allows us to hold in, right, go straight to the point, because, right, think about it, we have influencers. Look, all of you guys are all over the country, I'm assuming, right, East Coast and all that, but everybody's going to be very soon combining their efforts towards these key places that we're opening, right? So think about it. It's a lot of effort to a small space. We can fill that space up real quick, right? Now, we come as a company, we don't have to just go crazy and do national crazy marketing. We can also, focus our efforts on the local community. It's a lot easier to penetrate a local community than to penetrate a whole country at once. You follow me?
Right.
So it's a growth hacking strategy, if you will, that we're using, and that's why it's so exciting.
So let me ask you a question. Let's say, for example, because, the DC, Virginia, and Maryland is a tri-state area, which is where I live at. And people like myself who are leaders, if I said, hey, bro, listen, I want you to come to DC and I want to do a big giant meeting, invite all the drivers there. And we, because that's a tri-state area, which is a very large market. And
Right.
I've already had calls today and yesterday after I made the post. Rodney, are you going to bring this back to us? Can we get this thing first in our city in DMV, DC, Maryland, and Virginia? I said,
Right.
would you be willing to come there, David, and present and share how the whole DMV area can be one of the first areas to dominate this new Tryp thing?
100%. Yeah, you count on me. Like I told you when we met, was it a couple of days ago, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And count on me. I'm here for the long haul. I mean, again, I'm not a hired gun. I mean, I'm one of the founders. A lot of this stuff you've seen out there, it's all my work, and this is my baby. I just had a newborn son.
Congrats on that,
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, 6 weeks old now, and the whole time, right? My friends that knew me that have been working on Tryp, I'm like, yeah. I mean, I have two sons, two babies that have been growing, working towards over the last 9 months. So this is definitely one of my babies here, and I'll do everything I can to help you guys be successful and hopefully be the dominant team here in Tryp.
Oh, so yeah. First of all, number one, congrats on the newborn. I'm excited for you on that. I don't plan on having no more babies. I've gone through that already. No more diapers for me.
I know what you mean, my friend. Not easy.
Yeah. So let me ask you another question. When a person signs up for Tryp and they want to be a driver, what is the qualification time that it takes for that person to become an actual driver from start to end? What's the process and how long? Well, we already know the process is, but how long would it take?
Well, from the minute we start doing the action, there's several things that we have to do in the process here. Okay, it's hard for me to give you an exact date right now because we haven't really started going putting people through the process. But they're going to have to do a few things. One of them is a merchant account. Okay, but when they're doing the upgrade in our website, we're already capturing that information and pushing it over to our partner, right, in the merchant side, which exciting news. I mean, we have companies right now kind of almost like fighting to take our business because they see the business model being a very successful business model. So I don't think we're going to have issues getting people approved, right? But it will probably take 24 hours for the whole process to run through on their system. So that's one thing, right? We have to wait for the background check. It all depends on the person to person. It could be 3 days. It could be, a couple of weeks, depending if that person moved around like crazy everywhere, you know what I mean? So I would say that between the whole thing, not more than 2 weeks, but it could be a matter of a couple of days.
Okay.
Follow me?
Yeah. Got it. Hold on a second. Drink that tea.
Hold on just 1 second, too. I got to just answer a quick text message here. Somebody's also coming to the hotel, and I completely forgot about it.
No problem. So, hey guys, so far, what do you think about what the CMO of Tryp is talking about? Unmute yourself very quick, and so far, tell me your thoughts of what you're hearing, or any questions you may have, or any concerns, or anything that's positive you want to say. So, unmute yourselves and let me hear what you got to say. Tyrone. So Tyrone, unmute yourself and ask your question. Tyrone, you're unmuted. Go ahead and ask your question if you're still there. Well, you raised your hand like you had a question, but you guess you're not answering.
Maybe he fell asleep. I know it's late over there.
Yeah, he probably fell asleep, Tyrone, you there? He's not there anymore. So I'll put him back on mute. So let me ask you a question. How is your payment processing system? I happen to know, but I want to ask it publicly. What is your payment system like? Because from what I've heard, we're also going to be able to take crypto as payment on a lot of the rides as well. Is that true? And you already have a system in place where you won't have any problems taking the fare money from people, and there'll be no chargebacks or anything of that sort.
Yeah, well, we have a strategic partner, right, that actually introduced us that has an amazing technology coming up and that has that ability. So it's not Tryp doing it. We have a strategic partner in place that the minute they're up and running, we're going to be using them as well. So that would be very exciting to have. I'm actually, for those who don't know, I'm all about crypto as well. I run in that family, and I've been around blockchain and crypto for many, many years. Earlier than most people have, and so it's definitely exciting to see what's coming up with Mobi, and I can't wait for them to be ready up and running, and joining forces with us.
Yeah. By the way, guys, when I met with David, I was meeting with another guy by the name of Brandon. Yeah, Brandon Bergeson, who's the CEO of a company called Mobi, which a lot of merchants have already taken this company to be their merchant for us to be able to use even for ourselves, small, medium, large businesses, to do the payment system, and with no chargebacks and very simple by using your cell phone. And I believe that the Tryp is also using that same service as well. So, and I'll be bringing that to the market as well. They've already combined with Tryp and many, many other large businesses, small businesses and medium businesses, to do a lot of the work of payment processing. This is going to be very, very for us as well.
Actually, their crypto technology in order to real time converting fiat to crypto to fiat and vice versa is just phenomenal. I think they're going to be one of the dominant players when it comes to money transmitting, right? Well, I don't know if they're transmitting really, but peer-to-peer transactions. So that's just a product, yeah.
So on the side here in the chat, one guy already said, the guy who's Tyrone Hutton, he says he's something wrong with his microphone, but he says, "Hey, Rodney, I would love to help with the Baltimore, D.C., Virginia launch." He wants these people are already excited about launching that tri-state area. So now you got me on board. You got to start getting licensed in D.C., Maryland, Virginia, so we can get really, really busy there.
Yeah, 100%. They are, one of our main focuses. So I'll make sure I'll put some fire into our team over there to get those licenses up and running as soon as possible.
So he says, if you are passing out the app, what is the commission like? Will all advertisers be attaching themselves to the app in business model?
Yeah, essentially anybody and everybody share the app to, right? Just to give an idea, there's studies out there that says people who are users of the service right now, Uber, Lyft and all that, they use the app average of 3 times a month, okay? You and I who travel a lot, we probably use it, sometimes 3 times a day. Right, but that's called average, right? 3 times a month. So imagine this, right? If you drive for any company that you have access to passengers, or you have an influence or in your local community, every single person that you introduce to this free app, okay, you will make 40 cents every time they use it. I mean, if you do the math, it could be some outrageous money. I personally know some people that have millions of followers, and they can't wait for me to let them run loose with this, because they're going to get all of their followers to download the app. Imagine, right? There's 10, 20,000 people that connected to you. It's free. Nobody has to pay a dime, that you're collecting money every time they use it. It's pretty powerful.
So let me get this straight. You're telling me right now that for free, I could just have to get the app, right? And then I can go on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, say, "Hey guys, all you guys download this app and use this app as, try it out, this new Tryp app or whatever," right? And without me spending any money, I can earn 40 cents for every time that anyone takes a ride just off of that without spending a dime.
100%.
And how is that money paid to me?
Well, it comes in points, right? Rewards points, which you accumulate them, right? That you can use it towards partial rides, full rides. But when you accumulate $25, that's the minimum. You can actually hit a button. We'll send you that money cash to your account.
Can I receive it in crypto?
Through Mobi, yes.
Okay, great. So
think about it, right? It's actual cash. It's not like you earn points that you change it for a cup of bad tea. You know what I mean? Or something. You can use it toward rides, but if you accumulate enough, $25, not crazy. Anytime you have $25 accumulated, hit a button, we'll send you cash.
Okay. Tyrone says, did you say there would be traditional advertising from the company, like radio, TV,
Yeah,
newspaper,
well,
et cetera?
internet, you name it. Yeah, in fact, it's breaking news here for you. On my way from here to Vegas, I was talking for about an hour or so with a gentleman that's setting up an infomercial that would be running TVs. We're recording it on the end of this month already.
I told you, you got to get me in on some of these commercials, bro. On some of these videos, you got to get me in there. I can sell that.
That just happened on you're being first. I was on a call the way here. Those things happen.
So Tyrone also says, is there marketing material at this point, like the old brochures, stickers, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, we're finalizing designing a lot of the brochures and things like that, but we have some amazing PowerPoints. I mean, I don't want to say like because I designed it, but it's very good stuff. I mean, everybody who's seen it so far has nothing but praises towards it. We have some good videos. I mean, we have some pretty solid things for you to help a big grow this business, and a lot more coming. Yeah.
So Cindy Morrison says, when you give the app away, do they get $25 free for rides?
No, they do not. Right? That rumor has been going around. I don't know who created that rumor, but at this point, they do not.
Okay. All right. Get that in. Will you, once you start getting established, so when do you see yourself, hold on a second, let me do a spotlight right here quick. When do you actually see yourself where will be enough people to start generating a very nice income for those who are influencers in the market? A month from now? When is the first payout? Have you paid anything out yet at all?
First commissions, coming out here this week. So we just started registrations. But over the last couple of weeks, we've registered about 8,000 people, 8,500 people. And this is, we're throttling it back, right? There's a lot of things we're working through right now. So we're by no means, we are just firing on all cylinders at this point. So I would say that once we pass this soft launch period, which is, again, adjusting everything up, I mean, I can see us putting in 20, 30,000 people a month. Easy.
Okay.
I mean, the first 2 weeks of nobody really knowing, we're already almost at 10,000 people, right? Can you imagine once, like people like yourself is on board? So, but I can tell you that there's people right now with teams of, 2,000 people, so think about that. 2,000 people pays 50 grand a month, as an influencer. There will be some real cool checks. I'll tell you that much.
I've tipped that much in a month, 50,000. I'm just kidding. Anyway, so Tyrone says, will there be any other corporate offices around the country with promotion materials and online be in multiple languages? I do think right now you already have a lot of back office stuff.
I have the materials. Just so you know, the materials we have, everything that we have in Portuguese, in Spanish, and English right now already. Okay. As far as offices, go ahead.
I think a good question that I think I asked you the day we had that meeting. I think this is very, very key. You're not going to be just United States wide. You're going to be globally. I mean, outside the country as well. Am I correct?
Yeah, that's the goal. Well, obviously, we have to make sure we establish properly in the U.S., but we have, a lot. I mean, I'm from Brazil myself, and I was born and raised there. And Brazil is one of the second largest market for Uber in the world right now. So we, definitely looking South America, Asia, Europe, Canada. I mean, but again, we can't, we have to walk before we can run, right? So let's do things right in the U.S. And there's no reason for not 2020 be, smashing all over the world too. Why not? Okay,
great. So another good question I was going to ask you was, so do me a favor and give the viewers out there a background of who David Mota is. What have you done in the past to give them some type of security that this is something you can handle? And who are your partners that are other founders or owners with you who are solid?
Yeah, no, great. Well, I mean, compared to my business partner, I'm a little guy, but I have been, in business my entire, adult career. I started my first company when I was 18 years old. I've had businesses in multiple industries. Many, seasons in my life, I had 2-3 businesses at the same time, legal, marketing, in restaurants, lending, all kinds of different things. I've done a lot of successful things. Some things didn't work out so well, but I'm proud to say that I never had a business go broke. I've always found a way to make things work and sell it or do anything like that. In network marketing, things like that. I've joined a couple of companies just because it made a lot of sense, the product at the time, and had some amazing teams. I think my fastest growth was about 12,000 people in 9 months. But because I've always owned my own businesses, it was always really hard for me to join any opportunity because I was always busy running my businesses, right? And right. I used to see a lot of my friends that, I know a lot of people in the industry, right? Because when you're a marketer, right, you tend to know marketers, right? That's what happens. Right. But I've always marketed for my businesses. It's almost like, I was walking the path. But, I've always seen people jumping from company to company to company, and that never interested me, right? And when Bob McNulty, my business partner here, and I'll tell a little bit about his background, we've been working together for a couple of years. And when he was actually the one with the idea of doing, subscription model for rideshare. And he called me one day. He flew into Los Angeles. Every time he goes to Orange County, Los Angeles, where I'm at, he always calls me. We go for lunch, and because like I said, we've been doing business together. And so he told me what he was thinking, and he said, David, I need somebody like you to do it with me. You're ready? I'm like, no, I was born for this because this is something I can get behind, and I can definitely help you grow it. So a lot of what you see, it was created by him and I. The entire process. So. I've been here from day one, ground zero. And a little bit about his background. Let me tell a little bit about who he is, though, real quick, because it's such an honor to be able to work with him. And we probably talk about 20 times a day, every single day. We have been for a year. It doesn't matter if it's Sunday, what it is. And I love that because this guy, he has such a wealth of knowledge, of experience. He's done more things than most people just wish for to do in their business career. He's founded a huge company called Home Club back in the day. It was a competitor of Home Depot, not here in the West Coast. And he grew that business from zero to over $1 billion in 3 years. Eventually sold it for hundreds of millions of dollars. Then another successful one that he had was shopping.com. The reason we shop online today was pretty much his fault, right? He was the very first successful online retailer and, crushed it. And sold that company eventually over the years for over $300 million to Compaq Computers. We all know who Compaq Computers are. So that's just two of some of the amazing success. He's had failures as well. There's not one person who's doing business at that level that won't have failures. Make sense? And failures sometimes happen just because the industry, right? Like for example, we had a very successful company also in public traded in 2008, 2009 where the market crashed, right? When the market crashed, credit card companies, boom, completely shut off, right? His revenue, you know what I mean? And that company ended up, going, out of business. Wasn't his fault. It makes sense. So my point is that, there's some people that mention stuff like that they read online, but if you really get to know that man, he's just such a phenomenal guy, a character, a family man. And it's just an honor for me to just learn from him and work with him on a daily basis because if there's anybody that could put, Tryp the way it needs to be, it's definitely him. He's experienced it. You don't get it just overnight,
Well, that part right there is very, very comforting, and that's exciting to work with guys who've already done major things like that in the past. That's what you need in your background or to cover your back as well. Somebody who has the experience, and then they have the fortuitousness to see others like yourself to bring you upon the actual gauge to help out. And the reason why I asked that question because you helped put together the comp plan, and you've been a networker, you've been in the field, so you did things to make sure that the little guy like us actually earned money. Is that correct?
Well, 100%. And just to add up, to what I was saying about Bob, I believe that's why we work so well together, right? I'm young, but I have a lot of experience, but, I come from a different generation, and he's a gentleman that he's done. I tell him all the day, you should write a book, because his experience is just amazing. So he really trusted me, right, when we were doing this, and he said, hey, David, go to work. And one of the reasons why I did is because I had, I felt like I had that backing. And so when I was designing the comp plan, and this, hopefully one day you get to meet people that have worked for me in the past. They will tell you this. I always make sure that people make money, right? I always make sure that I put myself on, because I've been there, right? Many, many times. So I put myself on people's shoes. And when I was designing the comp plan, that's what I was thinking constantly, right? How can the little guy make money? How can, let's say myself, came here as an immigrant and I just showed up, I know nobody. How can I make money? Make sense? So the comp plan, I guarantee you, was designed 100% with that mentality. There's not one thing there that I didn't create by thinking, how would the perfect plan be for me if I was doing it? You follow me?
Gotcha,
so
yeah.
I assure you that it would be very hard to, and I did look at everything that was out there. I took about 4 months, man, to design this comp plan, just because I wanted to understand what other companies were doing, what types of comp plan was out there, what made sense, what didn't make sense. And it's a hybrid of multiple things. That's what we have.
Where can someone go right now, and not to sign up, but to just see more information? If someone was listening to this video for the very first time about Tryp and they just wanted to get more information, where could they go? Or should they go through a link, or is there a one page or somewhere that you can see?
We have a website, right? Tryprides.com. That website is live. Tryp with feel free to go out there and read through it. It's it doesn't get too much into the referral side of the business. That's super simple to understand, but we talk about the business, right? Technology, what it is, what we're doing, what our vision. So I highly encourage you guys to go check it out. Click on all the pages, get familiar with it, and get your questions. And I'm here to help you guys out.
Another question that some of the riders, some of the people on here are asking is, will you have any other product lines coming out that people will be able to earn on, I guess, in the near future, besides just like Uber Eats or whatever? I mean, I'm sorry, Uber Eats, or like Uber Eats or whatever.
Yeah. Well, we have major plans. Okay, I believe there's industries that we definitely want to get into, like the delivery, groceries delivery, but we call it goods delivery because it doesn't have to be just groceries. I believe that the future is on that, is in convenience, right? So we have multiple things that we have for version 3.0, 4.0. It makes sense? It won't be, tomorrow, but we have a lot of ideas in place that we're going to start rolling out and executing them really soon. So, we do want to be that company that goes down in history by being a company that puts the power back in people's hands and the money in people's pockets. Make sense? That's our goal. So we're going to innovate.
Well, that is, that's the reason why I'm having this Zoom right now, because I definitely want the money to be back in our hands, in the networker, the guy, the hard girl goes out there and works real, real hard to build a business. Now, explain to the people out here, if they had stock in Uber or Lyft, how much would they have made just if they had a little bit of stock with them, and what you're trying to do right now as far as everyone who joins as at the $3.99 level has stock as well, and the possibilities. I'm not telling you what they will have, but are guaranteeing any income claims, but just talk about the things that you and I talked about at the table about the possibilities.
Right. No, yeah, 100%. I mean, first of all, we don't know how many shares of stocks Uber has, right? But let's just, assume, right? Let's just assume that it's 100 million shares. If they do come out, it's just simple math, an evaluation of 120 billion, big chances, stock, could be just the math. I think would be $1,200 each stock, right? But most likely they have more. Let's say they have 200 million, right? The stocks will be worth 600. If it's 300-400 million shares, we could just do the math like that. But think about it. Let's say it's just worth $100, right? And you had 5,000. You had 10,000, 50,000 shares of that. I mean, you can get your calculator to do the math right now. We're talking about substantial amount of money, right? So with our program, that's why we have that stock options programs for the drivers, influencers, and which doesn't just give them stocks, right, by signing up, but gives them the ability, right, to go out there, help us grow this business, and we share on that, right? We want to make sure that people have the opportunity to see their hard work not only be paid handsomely right now, but also in the future. That could be a massive gains for them as well. right? As again, a disclaimer, like you did yourself, we can't guarantee anything, but
Right.
if things work out the way we think it will work out, a lot of people can be very well benefited by joining us and helping us grow this business to the way it should be.
One of the big questions that I get a lot, because I've done well in the traditional MLM market, the affiliate market, the network marketing market, and now the crypto market. So people are asking me, Rodney, will this company be able to accept crypto, get paid out in crypto? Can we make money through crypto with this deal right here? I think I asked this before, but is it fair to me to say, hey guys, you can become an influencer with Tryp and be able to earn money in crypto this way as well as other things that are out there?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, right now, it's not something that we have in place at this very moment, but we have that strategic partnership coming up with Bobby. And that would all depend on their success, right? But high possibility. I tell you one thing, though, I am, a blockchain fanatic, right? I love everything blockchain, and we do plan on having all of our stuff in blockchain in the future as well. It's not right now. There's just, again, it's too many technologies, that we're building.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I would love to be, the first rideshare company in blockchain, right? Have everybody information secure, the driver's information secure, you can know who they are. I mean, that's the future, right? And we are building this ready for the future. So anything can happen on that space.
For the record, for those who are going to see this video via in the morning, via whenever they click on a YouTube video, I'm putting this out there that Bitcoin Rodney is now claiming Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. So you can get back to me on that, So, hey, guys, I told you, David, you could come to D.C. or Maryland. I put together a big, giant meeting, and we'll just crush it there. I already got guys in place ready to crush Richmond, D.C., Maryland, that whole tri-state area. I mean, 50,000 riders is nothing. We can do that together in about a month, easy.
Yeah, I believe you, my friend, and I'm looking forward to it. I actually, when I moved to U.S., I lived in the East Coast. I lived in Cape Cod, Boston area.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so, but I've never been to Maryland, that area over there. So, I'm looking forward to it.
Oh, man, it's very, very exciting. A little cold right now for your taste.
Well, it's cold here, so I got my jacket. Las Vegas is cold.
I got to LA this weekend. Before I met you, I could not believe how cold it was here.
But, I kept my jacket on. It hasn't been that cold in a long time. You probably brought the cold with you. Now I understand why it was so cold.
So, guys, listen, I don't want to keep David all night long. I know he has things to do. So if you guys don't have any other questions or any comments that you want to say to David, please raise your hand or unmute yourself right now, and let's get this going so he can get on with his night, because right now it's already 12:30 on this side, and it's about 3:30 on the East Coast side. So, John, Vernon, Cindy, Tyrone, anyone, if you have any questions or comments, please let me know now, or let him know right now before we end this Zoom. Don't be scared. Don't all jump at one time. I know it's late.
Yeah, while there's anything coming out, I gotta say, guys, you guys are amazing. I mean, it's 3:30 a.m. where you are, and you're still hanging out here with us. I mean, that's the reason why I couldn't say no to this meeting. I know you guys are up late. I'm like, yeah, I don't have a say in this. I gotta be there. So I appreciate you all being here, and everybody's gonna watch this later. It's a real pleasure.
I mean, I appreciate it, because I because we were supposed to meet in person and do this, on Facebook Live the other night. And but I guess time either got away from you, it got away from me. I've been in meetings all day long. Then I had to watch the Dallas Cowboys beat up on the Seahawks. So, it was a long night for me as well. But I want to thank you again. And before we leave, people can go to Tryp. What's their website?
TrypRides.com.
TrypRides.com. TrypRides.com. Right? And
I gotta say, hey, if you're thinking of joining this opportunity by any means, lock arms with our buddy here, an amazing friend now, Rodney, because he's the man with the plan, and I'm sure he's going to be one of the top partners in the company, help us get to where we want to be. So you want to lock arms with this guy.
There's no probably to it. Whatever I do, whatever I decide to do, I go hard in, and I go hard for my team as well. And I'm pretty sure that's the reputation that I do have in the industry. is I do work hard for my teams to make sure that everyone can be as successful as they can be. I cannot make you drink the water, but I can bring the water to you. Like yourself, I've joined many things in my time here. Some haven't been so well. Some a bit more have been very, very well. The ups and downs in the industry. And I think that this is one of those things that will do well. It will go through the bumps and the bruises of growth. But I think these guys have some strong legs to stand on right now. They have the legal part taken care of. They're getting things in order. They're getting their large office in Las Vegas. And, you know, we need to start having big like meetings. I mean, like conventions and the big giant launch and maybe in Las Vegas or DC.
We will actually. You just said it right there. The minute we're ready to launch, right? So we're going to go into the pre-launch very soon, and in 2-3 months later, we're going to do a gigantic launch meeting here in Las Vegas. So most likely April, sometime May. So get ready to come to Vegas with us.
Hey, bro, I ain't but a hop, skip, and jump for me, bro. You forget I got my own jet, so I can fly anytime I want.
There you go. Stop by picking up in LA.
Hey, so I will give you the people out there. They said, thanks for all the answers. Very, very impressive. And they all want my link already. Hey, guys, thanks a lot for coming at 3:30 in the morning to see a late. These are the winners. These are the guys who say, we want it. You know, anybody gets up at 2:30, 3:30 in the morning for a Zoom call, this is unheard of. I know that many people on the line, but just you guys right now, you'll be the guys now who go out there and run with this information and make this thing happen. So get excited about that.
Yeah, mad respect to all of you that's here right now. It's just impressive. And no doubt you guys are winners just by being here. It's a true pleasure to be here with y'all.
Thank you, David. Is it possible that we be able to do more of these Zooms later on in the near future as things get closer to the launch?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, now, obviously they can hook up with you, get your link. We're putting the teams in place, right? We don't want to wait. We want to get out there. You know, they say that there's this saying in tech world that if you waited for things to be perfect to launch, you waited too long. Make sense?
Exactly. Yeah.
We gotta go. Yeah, we gotta go. We're gonna go. We're gonna fix, improve things along the way. That's why we're not just releasing everything at once. That would create madness. So just be patient with us. We're serious business people, and I believe this is the opportunity of my lifetime, and it could be yours as well.
So before we go, one question came to my head. I think it should be asked and answered, and that question is, I scoured the internet a little bit prior to this meeting to see what was good, what wasn't good, and there's a lot of misinformation out there about Tryp being a setup or a scam, or people who have the wrong videos out there saying the wrong information. And that's another reason why I wanted to hear it straight from the horse's mouth. Are you going to be able to police some of this negativity and crazy talking out there that's going to, maybe ruin our reputation because they don't know the proper information to speak?
100%. And unfortunately, okay, a lot of this misunderstanding created by even our own influencers, people who, remember, right? We just started releasing links 2 weeks ago, right? Mm-hmm. If you look at some of this material, they're prior for us to even be open, right? And the reason why is because some people just got too excited about the opportunity, and unfortunately, they just went out and started telling the wrong information to different people, which created this misconception, okay?
Right.
So I asked all of you, that might be watching this, pay attention on what you're saying, right? Educate yourself first. Don't have that rotten, idea of just because the information was passed wrong from one person to another person. Do yourself a favor and educate yourself so when you're talking about the opportunity, you're not misrepresenting it. It's very important that you don't go out there, even though we have an opportunity for people to make a lot of money, that's not how you should be leading, right? If, give an idea, right? A lot of things that happened with some of the YouTuber influencers, just because people have a following, I've heard this from themselves, okay? There are several, by the way, YouTuber influencers who was even having negative view of us and had a chance to meet me personally, and they completely changed their minds and even joined our company. I'm not going to say any names, But because, right, they personally told me that they were getting hundreds of messages a day of people telling them, hey, you have a following, join this company, you're going to make $500,000 a year. That's insane. It makes sense. You can't lead with that. Obviously, people are going to think it's a scam. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
And unfortunately, that kind of got out of the way. But I believe that the best way for us to combat, right, this negativity, but I don't even see it as it's just misinformation, really. It will be by delivering an amazing product. You follow me?
That's the reason why I wanted to get you on here live to set the record straight, so that there wasn't any kind of misconception, and everyone who may have seen the negativity prior to seeing the real deal can hear it from one of the founders of the company.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said, if you guys are going to be part of the affiliate community of the influencer community of Tryp, we have a team in place that all they're going to be doing, they're already doing it. It's looking for what people are saying wrong and misrepresenting us. They're going to be shutting these people down, because we cannot let one or two people ruin it for everybody else, right? So we're going to do everything we can to put the company as the highest standard as far as customer service, quality, product, and all that. And you guys, do your part. Help us by educating yourself first, so you can educate others properly and not misrepresent it. And again, most people don't do it on purpose. Most people just get too excited, right? They have never had proper training maybe before, and they go out there and just say the wrong things. So you guys, I applaud you, because you have a good leader here that, look at what he did, right? He went to get the proper information so that you guys get the right information. So be that kind of leader to your people. Make sure that they are, learning exactly what it is, and not without knowing, lying out there and misrepresenting. And if we all help out, this is for everybody. It's not just for me, it's for you too, right? So if we all care about it, we all take care of it, we're all going to be in a very good place very soon.
Hey, so you know what? The one thing that can stop the misinformation is, I think the company needs to be like the Pied Piper, and we need to all have professional replicated sites with a video that does the work for you, so you don't have to try to explain things to anyone else. You already have a video that's telling anybody what it is and what it's not, and then that saves you from a lot of legal drama right there.
Yeah, we do.
A lot of companies get shut down because of misinformation, or people are stretching this truth, or income claims. So will we have material that has replicated sites that we can use, and how long before that is ready?
Yeah, we are about a week or so away before this material starts coming out. We already have videos and all that, but as far as sites, webinars, landing pages, all of that is in the works right now. Remember, we're 2 weeks, right, that we started like a soft launch. And unfortunately, all of these things we're just talking about happened prior to us even having a website live. People just got excited out of their minds, and I appreciate they got excited out of their minds, but they just went out and created a mess that we have to clean up now. But it's all good, because we are the real deal, and a lot of people who are taking the time to put out posts or maybe articles about us without properly knowing, because they haven't talked to me. I guarantee you that. It will look very silly in the near future when they see everything that we're coming out, and that we are legitimate and a real company, that we're here to stay.
One more thing before I go, I'm gonna let you get out of here. This is the last thing, I promise.
That's fine.
What if I have a group of leaders, major leaders, and we wanted to all come out to your office and meet with you? I've been to your office as well. And then one day, you get the key leaders in place, explain to them what's going on, and then now the word is carried out through the high ranks to others. I mean, is that possible? Or
100%. I've had several people fly in town, several over the last couple of months, and I'd love to meet with your key leaders and educate them, let them, meet with them and spend some quality time, take some photos so they can go out and educate the others properly.
All right, man. Hey, look, thanks a lot again. I know you keep saying that, and it's getting later and later and later. And I got a flight tomorrow to Vietnam, so I got to get to bed, and you got work to do. You got somebody at the door trying to get in and meet with you right now. So I'm going to let you go, man. It's been real. It's been great. It was great meeting you guys. For anyone who sees this video, please get back to the person that actually referred you to this video. I'll have a link available for you guys within the next hour or two if you decide that you want to take advantage of being first. Oh, I forgot to ask you about this. Oh, this is very important.
It's okay.
Hey, look, tell them the exciting part. And if I'm lying, then I'm flying. Do people earn income off of my work by spillover?
Oh yeah, big time.
Explain that part. Explain that part.
Yeah. So through the influencer side, right? We have, first of all, we have a holding tank so that all
I love the holding tank part. I love that part too. I forgot about the holding tank.
All your referrals go to a holding tank, but we created a unilevel, but it's a forced matrix unilevel so that you only have 3 teams front line, right? So, for example, whoever's going to be the 3 key leaders for Ronnie here, I mean, they're all set because everything else that he does is going to go under them, right? And if you are, taking advantage of this fast and joining, your boy here, Ronnie, expect thousands of people, I would say, right? I'm putting, challenging on him, but everything that he does will spill over to you guys. So that's just an amazing, amazing way to do business.
Yeah, that holding tank is a key to big numbers. I'm a holding tank king.
Come get the key of the kingdom because it's here.
Yeah. The positioning is incredible for when you have a holding tank, and now people love the part. I mean, I don't look for spillover. I'm a spillover maker. I know I provide spillover. I mean, if I can get some from someone, I definitely would take it. But I love to provide spillover for the average Joe or average Joanne as well. Help them out a little bit, to see that it really, really works and they're exciting. And they one day they look in their commissions and say, wow, I made money. I didn't even do anything yet. Maybe that'll force them to do some work. So that's pretty exciting as well. All right, we get out of here. I keep saying that. I keep getting excited about the information you have there.
It's an exciting project, man. I trust me. I know, man. I've done hours and hours, and so I'll just let my battery die, I guess.
All right, guys. This is Rodney again. I am trying my best to sign off. Get back to the person who actually referred you to this business or to this video. If you want my link, make sure you inbox me, email me, text me, call me. I'll give you my information so you can get started right away, or at least get a spot and get your position, and we will make it happen. Remember this, those who join me first, the first 3 or the first 6 or first 9, you will be getting my spillover. And you guys know who I am. You know how things work. Get excited about that part. See you guys on the next video. David, see you on the next video, bro.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me.
All right,
thanks,
bye.
everybody. Have a great night. Good luck sleeping.
Oh, yeah, I know, right?